supernatural and what is above. And the slippers comes to represent the natural, the what is below. And he is in this very picture then seen as the mediator between the natural and the supernatural.
So, hello and welcome to the second part of this episode with Kweku Okokroko, a Ghanaian artist based in Vienna, Austria, born and raised in Ghana, as I said. And he's about to give us some insight about his painting, the paintings that we saw in the first part of this episode. And his paintings are filled with secret informations or hidden informations about the Ghanaian culture. And me, myself, I'm very excited to hear a lot about his ideas or his concept about his paintings, because I'm getting educated right now as well. So let's just jump in. Kweku, again, welcome to aaimba Conversations. And why don't you just jump in and tell us your ideas and the concept behind this painting, starting with the name maybe.
Thank you, Kojo. So this painting is called kente, and kente is a traditional fabric that is native to Ghana, specifically the Akan tribe. I am an Akan myself. You too, actually.
Yes, I am.
Yes. So this is what we see in the painting, and I'm actually wearing a kente also. So this is how it typically looks, and I think the kente it was important to add it to this exhibition, a depiction of it, because it is an important part of the Ghanaian culture. Not the totality of it, but a part of the Ghanaian culture. And yeah, this is what we see here. There's actually a story I'd like to tell about the kente. So there's a story of how it came to be. And there's this Akan principle called abodiamunyansape, which translates to the pursuit of knowledge in nature. So it's basically science, I think, in the Western world. But it's this idea of learning, observing nature and learning from it. So this is how this fabric came to be, actually. There's a story of a farmer who watched the spider Anansi as it was weaving its web, and he tried that with threads and ended up learning how to make this beautiful fabric. So that is the story behind it, and yeah, I think that is what there is to say.
Okay, so basically this is quite a simple piece of work. If you just like look at it and don't see the depth in the interpretation or in the culture that you just mentioned, you kept it very simple, like with the white background, and right. Also the kente, and the way you painted the kente is like very simple. Mm-hmm. Actually, you won't find this type of kente, exactly this type of kente anywhere, mm-hmm. But it's like a simple version of kente, and you took, I guess that's the female that is wearing the kente.
That is a female,
right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So can you tell us probably what you thought about what she's doing, or her expression? Is it a situation that you took out of your memories, like from Ghana, like seeing African women, Ghanaian women, Akan women, like wearing these kentes, and what type of situation is she in, or is it in general a situation, or is it just randomly painted?
It is definitely a memory. As we're back home, you'd see a lot of people wearing their kente very proud, and to occasions or to church, yeah. As or to church, for example, or to naming ceremonies, to yeah, family occasions and gatherings, you'd see people wearing the kente, even at home. And it's the women who typically wear it like that. So from the chest down, it's wrapped around the chest.
Right.
And the men wear it like this. This is one of the many variations that the men can wear it in. And yeah, this is not taken from a specific happening of any occasion. That's why I wanted to accentuate that with the isolated background. So you could take her and put her in any one of these ceremonies that I mentioned earlier, even naming a child as well, naming ceremonies and these important occasions in Akan society. You'd see people wearing their beautiful kente. It's a symbol of pride and wealth and social status, and the quality of your kente says a lot about you and your family.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that's exactly what I saw in this painting as well, because it's a very ordinary situation. It really could fit to any occasion.
Mm-hmm.
But the first idea that I have was, I had two ideas on that. Basically, it was like an everyday type of situation where a Ghanaian woman like stands up in the morning and just put on her kente and starts to do the stuff that
household chores, you know?
yeah, the stuff that she does in the household, or even like preparing her kids for school and something, stuff like that. And but also the second thought was like, it could also be a traditional occasion, like naming your child, or even, I mean, this kente type is more like a festive type of style, I guess. Like
The
it's not
loud
like
colors.
loud colors.
It's not
like,
for funeral, for
it's
example.
not for a funeral.
Maybe,
And but can you tell us more about that actually? Because all these kentes have different
yes.
like associations and meanings and all that stuff. Do you know what do you know about this kente especially, and what type of meaning it has to its viewer?
Yes, so yeah, like you said, each kente has a very specific meaning, and when you wear it, it has a message you're announcing. So you can't wear certain kentes for certain occasions, and there's a language that goes on with the kente, how you wear it, what you wear, when, and yeah, that is very interesting. It's a form of social dialogue that is created out of textiles. It's really beautiful. I find that beautiful personally. And this one is not a particular kente like you said. It's just a representation of it. But the coloring, of course, also contributes to its meaning. This, for example, if it were to be a real kente, it's loud, it's bright, it's joyful. It would be for maybe marriage ceremonies, or something of naming a child, or something that is a celebration, and not to say a funeral or something of the sort. But yeah, they all have meanings, and let's say there's one that, let's say I want to give a typical example of how it works. So there's one that says something about marriage, for example, and some of them are proverbs, some are parables, some are hidden ways of speaking and representations of certain things. And it would be bad, for example, to wear a fabric that talks about the collapse of marriage to someone's wedding ceremony. So this is a typical example of how it works. When you bring it there, it would be frowned upon, and people would wonder why you wore this particular one to. It's as if you don't wish them well and you want their marriage to not end so well. And certain other examples too. But it's very important what you wear when. Okay. And it's unfortunate this isn't a real one, but yeah, I wanted to represent it more than. I think you can see why. This is very complex to paint. So I broke it down and ended up with this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So I would suggest that we move on to the next painting.
Yes.
That we're going to talk about. So Stay with us and don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and tell us what you think about this conversation. Of course, leave a like as well. We're gonna just do a little bit of setting up, and then we'll be back soon. So here we are, back with the second painting that we are going to introduce you and the ideas behind it. So as always, we just jump in, and I'll pass you the mic, Kweku. Just tell us something about this painting that you have here.
Yes, this painting, what we see is a king sitting, a seated king, and an umbrella bearer. So that is the king, and this is the umbrella bearer. The umbrella we see overhead, the king, is the kind that Rita and Priscilla have shown here. So these kind of gigantic umbrellas that are put over the kings. And they actually inspired this painting as we were doing this together. I thought to do something that speaks to the royal element of the Ghanaian culture, and this is what I ended up with. So that is what we see.
Okay. So what is it about this umbrellas and of course the royal element of it? I mean, can anybody like create or like produce or order these umbrellas and then use it in the culture, or what is the idea behind that umbrella?
Yes, the umbrella is a symbol, actually. But I'd first start with that not everybody can order it. You can order something, but you can't order. Every king has their very specific umbrella that is to them. With the design of it, the symbolisms that come on the umbrella is very specific to a particular king or ruler. And not just anyone can get it. And here I'll delve a bit more into the symbols that are represented here. The king the chief must always be wearing slippers. So they always wear slippers, and their feet is not supposed to touch the ground. And the umbrella is overhead them. It's not always overhead them, but often. And so they may be seated or go into a public address of the community or a community durbar where people meet and gather and plan for the future and things of the sort. And then they display the symbols on there, and it's also a communication of their power and their strength and their authority. And here actually is a very wonderful symbolism that represents the authority of the king. So I'll continue with the slippers. The slippers, his feet shouldn't touch the ground. And then there's the umbrella over his head, and he's caught in between these two boundaries that are created. And that is a symbolism. The umbrella comes to represent the supernatural and what is above, and the slippers comes to represent the natural, what is below. And he is in this very picture then seen as the mediator between the natural and the supernatural. So Onyankopon and us. And this is the symbolism. God, right? Yes, yeah. Yes. This is the symbolism that is herein represented.
Amazing. Yes. And what is the role of the person that is holding the umbrella? I mean, of course, he's holding the umbrella. That's obvious. It's obvious to say. But does he also have like, are there traditional ways to like hold it or to move it, or what will happen when that person's not there? What is about him? What is the idea behind that?
Yes, there's a whole social class, I would say, not as big as a class, but a whole group of people who are responsible for the umbrellas. They are responsible for carrying it, and they move it and demonstrate their skills with it to show their prowess. but not everywhere. So when there's an occasion, they do it. You can see them doing it outside and moving it and yeah, demonstrating with it. But when it's seated, for example, they don't do that. It's a calm. But yeah, they are a class of people, and their social obligation is to cater to these umbrellas overhead the king. And the Akan society is very keen on the division of labor and administrative structure. So everybody has even the drum, the people who play the drum, they're also a class within, and they're very proud that they are responsible for the drums. And it's passed down how to do it, and that is what they do in the Akan society. So this is one of those people, and that's what he does. He's very, very skilled in carrying umbrellas.
I can see.
Yes.
It was amazing. And let's also come and talk about this painting, like the colors that you choose, the yellow that you use on this painting. And I mean, you only see like, okay, 3 color shades, right? Yellow, red, and that black. So why did you choose to reduce those colors so much? Because there are, as you said, there are so many symbolism in these paintings, but you decided to really break it down into just these 2 colors and of course these lines. So what was the idea behind it, and why did you choose to like simplicize it in this way?
Well, I'm actually glad you asked that. I would also want to mention actually that we can see that the umbrella bearer's feet is bare as opposed to the king. I did that to emphasize the point I made earlier about the sandals. About the colors, the yellow, the Akan economy is built as well mainly on the access to gold. There's a lot of gold, and we're very proud of it. So that is, I was thinking of royalty, and I was thinking of what associations there are, which color really speaks to the royalty of which one is kingly and majestic. And I chose yellow because it sort of represents gold, and it shows the authority and richness of the image I'm trying to project. And I reduced it mainly because I like the style of it. It's actually one of my favorite. It's only lines and it looks like a drawing. And I think the other ones, they're all shapes that are filled, but this one is lines, and it looks like a drawing that I quickly made. I don't think I've made a painting like this before. So it's really one of my favorites. I guess I wanted to try something new, and yeah, I liked how it turned out. The red is bold, and I like that. It emphasizes that the umbrella is an important part of the painting, and I didn't want it to be lost in the background. So I filled it bold, so you see it, and you know that it's a subject that is to be addressed in the painting. Yeah, that's why. That's the thinking behind how I picked the colors.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for your explanation on this painting. Amazing. I learned a lot. So we are moving on to another setup and talking about the third painting that we want to show you, that we want to talk about, and Kweku is going to give us some insight. And again, please do not forget to subscribe, leave a comment, tell us what we can improve in these conversations, and of course, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and all that, you know, because see you in the next painting. Here we go. So, hello again. Here we are presenting you the last image that we want to show you and also talk about. We are still here with Kweku. Kweku's now going to give us an introduction to this painting that we can see right here. The name is, again?
Apaye.
Apaye.
That's right.
Okay, so tell us more about this painting.
Yeah, so after the title, Apaye is, in English, the term libation. And libation is a cultural act or practice where you pour water or wine on the ground as a form of prayer to gods and also to honor the dead, so their ancestors. You commemorate their name, and this is what we see him doing, this personage in the painting. And yeah, that's what it is. I particularly like this one too, because it was actually the first painting I started. So I think you can see the dedication that I put into it, and the complexity of it. And I think it befits this topic, because this practice is very important also in the Akan society. And you can even see it in the African diaspora as well. I think in the Americas, they also pour down liquor, and it's derived from this culture that is home of pouring libations. Okay. So that's what we see.
Beautiful. So what type of ritual is it? Like, why do we pour, or like, you said alcohol?
Libation, apaye.
Yeah, and
alcohol or
alcohol,
water.
Yeah, you pour alcohol on the ground. So during which ceremonies or occasions is it usually practiced?
So in several ceremonies, any ceremony where you could use some good luck, or say in the beginning of a wedding, or a naming ceremony, or even a funeral, or a gathering.
Okay.
And even to eat, sometimes you pour a bit of water before you drink it. Okay. It's so much entrenched into the daily lives, and that it's not very specific when you can do it. You can do it any time. As long as you have water or wine, you can pour libation to commemorate the dead.
Okay. So what is of course you said, Akan people do it to commemorate the dead people. What is is there another meaning to that instead of?
Yes, I think this act is riddled with a lot of symbolic meanings as well. I mean, it connects the living and the dead. As of this act, the living remember the dead in their thoughts. It also brings together the people surrounded there. So it emphasizes the common ancestry of everybody there. So it emphasizes that we are one people and we come from a certain place, and it's a political statement of unity and strength as well. And it also, I like to think of it as connecting the future and the past. Yeah. So the people who have come before us, we acknowledge them, and with this acknowledgement, we pursue the future in hopes for fortune and good happenings to us. So it's riddled with a lot of symbolism, and I think you can see that with most of the paintings here. Yeah. I enjoy those symbolisms and what they have to offer us.
Beautiful. So with this painting, it's quite different from the previous paintings that we talked about. I mean, you have like all these colorful elements inside, and it is also a bit not confusing, but it's not structured in that simple way that the first two paintings.
It's wilder, right?
It's a bit wilder, more savage, a younger person would say. So why is that? And does it have something to do with the ritual that is played on this?
I think it was an experimentation of style on my part. I think it's very recognizable that this one is different from the others, as you've said. And I was playing with a style of one of my heroes in the arts world, and yeah, I think I did it quite well. I'm proud of how well I've done it. And I think the halo too, you can see a halo over his head, and I put that there to emphasize the sanctity and holiness of the act he's performing. That too is a derivative of, like I said, this hero, and it's special in that sense. I was appealing to, challenging myself to reach a certain height of one of my very favorite artists, and that's why it looks like that. Wild and crazy.
You can also mention his name, doesn't
Basquiat.
it? Basquiat.
Basquiat,
So
yeah. Jean-Michel Basquiat, he's one of my very favorites, and I think that's what you see here.
Yeah.
Do you see the link?
Yeah, I definitely see.
I'm happy about that.
And I think many people that know some works of Basquiat will definitely also be reminded that this could like be or is a Basquiat inspired painting. So it's still wonderful. It's still your own work. It's still something from your own culture.
That's right.
So that's basically the interpretation, or you used basically his technique in order to express what is within you.
That's right.
Yes.
That's exactly right.
And another thing what I would like to talk about is also this part here. It looks like a dress. For me, I have I connect that with the kente as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it feels like somebody's like wearing the kente the same way you are doing.
Mm-hmm.
You are wearing it now.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right on that, or is it just randomly? What is this aspect has to do about? Because you only use these colors in this area. Okay, you use the blue in the top as well. But the shape of the person is very simplicized, and also the colors that you use are. Tell us more and the connection between.
Mm-hmm. So yes, it is a piece of cloth that he's wearing, but I took liberty with how I demonstrated. I represented it not as carefully as the textile one we were talking about earlier. But yeah, normally these people dress very proper, as I have, and you pour the kente. There was a hand here actually, but I later decided to take it off, which holds the kente like this. So with tutueguso, and he's holding it and he's pouring it. But yeah, we can't see it in the finished. I decided to go against with the hand there.
Why? Because you're unsatisfied with? Or?
Yes, as you paint, a lot of changes happen, and this was not the original plan, but you have to adapt and move and feel the direction and not force it into the direction you want it, you know, and just allow it to breathe and go along with it. So that's why it happened like that. But he's a dressed man in a kente cloth and pouring libation.
Nice.
That's the idea.
Okay, amazing, beautiful. Thank you very much for giving so much insight about yourself, your character, your upbringing, and of course your paintings and the ideas and the concept behind them. Wish you all the best for the future. I think we are going to do a lot of projects together. I hope so.
Definitely.
And I'm also very interested in the direction you are about to go. I mean, you said you are inspired by your hero here, and now I'm very intrigued to know, okay, from this point, where are you going by yourself? You know, I listened and I heard that you are really like molded by your character or by your heritage, and also the things that you experienced. So I'm really excited to like see the next step and see where you're going in the future.
Yes, me too.
To create new paintings and new stuff.
Yes.
Or not even paintings, you say you're a creator yourself, it makes you happy. So let's see where things are going now.
Yes. I have high hopes too. I think there's bigger things coming.
Perfect, nice. Okay, let's do that. So thank you very much for this conversation.
Thank you.
And
wonderful.
we're going to do it again.
We will do that.
So thank you for watching this part of the episode, and we hope you were as inspired as I was and as I am. And as for always, please do not forget to leave a like, subscribe to our channel if you like the content we are creating, and also give us some insight, ideas on how we can improve what we are doing. And stay tuned for the next artist that we are going to present to you. So, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Okay.
We've done it well. Yeah.
Cool.